Back with another profile. This one is one of my all-time favorites. Uh, besides Spring Time, that's top tier. But this one had some up and down since its inception, with bends, erratas, all of that sad stuff. But I would say, if Pan is the light, Vegeks is the shadow that was cast. Everybody has it that Pan is the best black deck. If that ever goes or get hit, I would say this would rise from the shadow instantly, come to light. Especially with its new set in 29 cards. But on that, I have a special list on it and trying to resurrect traditional style of play and way of thinking. And also, it plays in a particular fashion. I'll get into the at the end of the video. But let's get on to the list. No particular order. To Power Burst. 2 Majin Buu Human Extinction. 2 Hunt. 2 Super, and that is it for my extras. 4 Fusion of Friendship. We built a deck primarily around here. Trunks Pursuit. This is a new card from set 29 that made every black deck gas. This is our main push card that we use, that we get our damage from. And then running for that. And then our creative tech. Not many people on it. The catastrophic premonitions. I was so sad I had to order these because I didn't have any. But I just had 1 in 1 of the non-foil versions. So I just had to foil it up. But this one draws, this one, the other one removes threat. One of the only cards we use energy on, besides the 7-drop. Super combos. Couldn't find my 4th Trunks, so we just threw in a Prince since my mistake with the Mass Sin. This just got a lot better with the other Trunks that just came out. Defense and sets up for bigger plays. Time Agent Trunks. Standard Time Agent package. Kai. Vegeta. For that. My pile is slipping. And then for our last few utility cards, we got this, in case we need it. Vegeta, one of our free overrooms. Same with Trunks, just turn 1 play. And then Dark Broly, this is my favorite. Or I would say the most useful one for black decks. You can keep playing it over and over again. I like this better than the Vegeta everybody run, personally. Then a Tenacious, just for defense. Then our last 2 cards, furthering defense. And that should be all you need. Z-Deck to Gohan. SS4 Journey Through Time. Chile was for an end. And we running Mighty Blast and the Wormhole one. Cause it sent cards from top of my deck that triggers my whole deck. And we got 2 Son Goku internal or cross-dimensional fighter. And Vegeta summoning the impossible. Because definitely with this deck, we're doing the impossible. And invoking strategies that you don't see every day. Side deck, we got Burning Impact, just disrupt the drop. 2 Petries. 2 Gohan changing history. Healthy Scratch. Trek to the People. One of the top 10 floodgates in the game, as they say. But we only get a video on that later. Deborah. Coits. And 2 BMS. And that is the deck. The concept I was going for is essentially playing or constantly cycling this in and out through these cards. Yeah. Because generally, it's a good day if we hit this turn 1. And then on the following turn, if it stays there, just use the effect. And then send it off, depending on the situation, to draw a card or to get rid of something. And then, and that's pending we mill this. Usually, by my second turn, these are in the drop automatically. But then we can use leader effect or like use this just to mill again. So we hit him again because there's like a thing with this is like in traditionalist. I don't know. I'm surprised nobody tried this before, but you always hit like multiple of these while this is already established on the field. I usually just use effect, swing, and then next turn mill. I always hit this, and I'm like another one I can't use. You get multiple swings, which are unison, if you cycle your unison. And remember, your Vegeks leader, I didn't explain it well enough before, but you can never mill out because of your backside permanent. You always refresh your deck. And essentially, you're making plays for 1 or 0 energy that facilitates you bursting a lot off the top of your deck. So you're playing the game from the top of your deck. Generally, against most matchups, I really don't have to charge a lot. In some games, I just charge 1 energy and just play the game that way until I'm finished, because I want to say around after the SS4s, or to give you some perspective, I think the list that killed the first red extermination list, I would like to say, by Bandai, came around, I want to say set 20, set 21, where they murdered those decks and like start restricting everything to your opponent has to have like 2 or 3 energy just to play something strong. So by not or charging all the way, because you can play a game where you're charging to like 1 billion, but generally 1 or 2 is my ceiling. And also, you can or the combo with this is you can like use this effect to pitch this to send one year 15 or less to the drop. Usually I'm going for Trunks or Kai, depending on the situation or how my hand is looking, just to get that in there in a way. Also, by not charging to a billion, your hand size can be really high, but some matches, I would say, like I said before, the old leaders and the old cards, I want to say preset 10, they just naturally strong and don't really have energy restrictions like the new cards post set 20. But some would even make an argument that it came as early as like set 14 and stuff like that. But that is the lines we're trying to practice. But you can charge to whatever you want to. But keep that in mind. A lot of your opponent's decks functions by you having 2 or more energy to play the play off curve of the cards that usually cheat in for 1 energy. But that's the premise, that's the concept. Just play off the top of my deck using 1 to 0 energy and pressuring most of their advantage away, because that was the strength of old school Vegeks. This used to be send 5, but they changed it to burst 3. And because you used to burst 3 or 4 cards off the field, off the top consistently, and that made this deck strong and, how would I say, rallied the flag to get rid of most of the free play stuff in the game. It started with this guy. But I don't think it is strong because there was a time where we didn't have like as many floodgates as we have now, or as much interaction. If they ever loosened it up or brought some stuff back, I'd be ready. I'd be ready for the smoke. But some other cards I was thinking about, if you just want to play the generic game plan and charge every turn, these were some cards I was considering for like side deck choices. Alright. I would say barrier is not really too much of a problem. You just swing around it, always go towards face, and that makes them waste hand and resources faster. I'm always pushing everything out of him and not getting sidetracked about the goal of putting a life from 0 to, or 8 to 0. That is the goal. Also, I was considering this, but that is something to polish out for next time. And like, you can play this fast, you can play this slow, mid range. You always will get you there. And like I said, if you don't have to stay at 1 or 2 energy, that's just my strategic strategy on things. But if you want to play the longer game, here's are some good considerations. And also, one of my favorite considerations is if I'm charging and playing a long game, I'm always throwing this in every black deck that I see that I'm going 4 turns or more, guaranteed. But how our deck is constructed in drawing our, how should I say, our push through your defense cards, which is these 4 cards. Also, I like this at 2 because like this is secondarily removal for their spirit boost. In case they throw out something big, I can just remove this from my drop after I mill it. Spirit boost. And just get rid of it. Because like we built this deck to play off the drop and off the top of the deck. And that's kind of like in theory what Black's supposed to do in a way. Kind of like monitoring green a little bit. But like I said before, there's only like a few one energy plays you doing on your turn, which is this just as setup early game. What's the other one we doing? We're doing this. I would say it's important if you open or draw into this turn 3 or your turn 3 going, I want to say second, your turn 4 going first. Drop this just to stay alive because this behind this says you don't die, especially when you meet that threshold. But like I said before, the main thing is we just playing cards that burst into other cards. That's pretty much the gist of the deck in Vegeks 101. I was going to cut the other trunks for considering it because I'm falling out of love with the this trunks. He's only in here for the burst 2. I rarely overwhelm him, but if it comes up, look, I hate or strongly dislike playing the card and not really using it for the whole effect. Better in mid-range pan. But yeah. SER's Xenopan, I guess. Cumber if you want to do that. Even the Goku Black Unison will be fire in here. But try that leader. And those SERs might make a world tour in future gameplays that you'll see on the channel. But I think I explained everything, and it's pretty simple concept. It's not really too much to grasp. Oh, I forgot. There was like a few other cards that I was toying around with in the beta that I wanted to show in case you wanted to play the charge energy every turn type style, and then you want to get free advantage and control the game because that is a playstyle one of our national and world championships coveted in his 60 card list and planned on taking the game to turn 6. This was some other considerations. There's another Marvelous Might one that's critical, but I always just like the double strike. Mission accomplished, just to get your resources back. Boo, just to cycle you through more of your deck. And lastly, like the Vegito, in case you wanted to play that type of game and just more card advantage to draw into, because you can like cycle stuff back. I was considering using it as a Z deck choice, but the main one, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is our main option. Constantly playing this. But that's the deck. Tell me what you think. And this type of style of play in tech, I just wanted to focus on this concept right here. But that's all I have to say. Hope it was thought out and made sense to you and something you might want to try. For best of 1 or best of 3, this can pivot either way because it's just that strong. Later, and this was my shadow of the pen.